This pedagogic experience involving architecture students and teachers from the School of Architecture, Salle, and members of the co-housing association Sostre Cívic took place during the seminar Civic Housing, carried out from October 2013 to January 2014. The activities planned in the seminar had a pedagogic purpose for both the future dwellers and the architecture students.
Energetic efficiency.
Abrir espacios al barrio también.
Hay espacios comunes.
A mí me gustan los espacios luminosos.
An ongoing project promoted by Sostre Cívic to refurbish an existing building block in El Born neighbourhood in Barcelona provided an opportunity to bring together dwellers and architects in a participatory process aimed at defining the characteristics of the future dwellings. Sostre Cívic had reached an agreement with the local authorities of Barcelona to refurbish a building in El Born neighbourhood. The communication tools and participatory process devised by students in the seminar were implemented in a participatory session that took place on the premises of Sostre Cívic in Barcelona. These communication tools were applied in 3 processes. Imagine your ideal living space. Describe what you're doing at home. Plan your future home. Imagine your ideal living space. Participants were asked to reflect about their visions and expectations concerning their future habitat by means of a conceptual map made up of images which conveyed certain feelings and ideas about domestic space. They had to choose some images and make a collage which represented their ideal living space. Describe what you're doing at home. Participants had to name the 8 most important activities they perform at home. The activities were placed in concentric circles, with the most important ones located in the centre. Then they had to draw lines to represent the activities that were related. Finally, they specified whether the activities took place within the limits of the household or outside it. Plan your future home. Participants selected some of the activities identified in the previous process. Each activity was written on a paper stick. The selected activity was broken down into smaller activities that took place at different times and places. Each activity was written on a paper stick whose size represented the value that the dweller had assigned to it. Finally, they had to state whether the activities were carried out individually, with family members, or with the community.
If you want to do that alone or in a whole group or...
La gente con la que compartes la vivienda, que haya espacios para poder relacionarte y poder compartir pues, tus momentos dentro de la vivienda.
Es importante que cada persona tenga su espacio, pero también que haya espacios comunes. Room for myself, or space.
Yes. Igual poner sus nombres.
Like that. And other spaces to share.
Okay.
As the final output of the participatory process, students produced a report to guide the design of the future dwelling in the building to be refurbished. These guidelines were the result of processing the information obtained from the second participatory session. The topics derived from the participants' inputs were analysed by the students. They described the underlying problems and their implications from the social and architectural points of view. The guidelines were produced using a template which contained, on the one hand, inhabitants' needs and expectations on their future dwelling. On the other hand, they were the responses to those needs developed by the architectural students. Students presented their proposals using a verbal and graphic language which was understandable to non-professionals. The result of this pedagogic experience has enabled teachers, students and dwellers to participate in a joint process of reflection on the experience of inhabiting space. Through this experience, citizens have developed a feeling of belonging in relation to the spaces they live in. They have become part of the process of defining their future homes. Students have played the role of designers of processes. In this way, they develop their skills as mediators and facilitators in participatory design processes.